Bienvenidos. Welcome to Marta Empowers. I am your host, Marta Villegas Miranda, an unafraid educator, first-generation professional, and advocate in higher education. Navigating and paying for college can be very overwhelming. The soaring cost of college can be very daunting, in particular if you're from a low-income family. Many times, grants, loans, and scholarships are not enough or even accessible to cover the cost of tuition, books, and fees. Fortunately, the U.S. government created a series of federal programs called TRiO to increase access to higher education for students who are low income. As part of President Lyndon B. Johnson's War on Poverty, the Economic Opportunity Act of 1964 established the first TRiO program known as Upward Bound. Then in 1965, the Higher Education Act created Talent Search. Then in 1968, Student Support Services was launched, together forming this trio of federally funded programs. Since then, TRiO has expanded to 8 federal programs, providing a pipeline of opportunity serving traditional, displaced, and veteran students. TRiO programs were the first national access and retention programs to address the serious social and economical barriers to education in the United States. And today, I am delighted to speak with Mercedes Terrazas, a specialist for the Project Achieve TRiO Student Support Services program at Joliet Junior College, where we had the pleasure of meeting and working together. Welcome. Bienvenida, Mercedes.
Thank you for having me.
Mercedes is a native of Chicago, Illinois, where she graduated from DePaul University with a Bachelor of Arts degree in psychology. She enjoys working with diverse first-generation college students, students that are low income, and students of color to pursue their academic aspirations while motivating them to achieve success. Mercedes obtained her master's degree in education focused on higher education from the University of Pennsylvania and graduated with honors. She worked as a graduate assistant in the Center for Race, Equity, and Education, collaborating with research to improve the lives and outcomes of boys and men of color, improving the campus racial climate for diverse students of color, and advancing the work on race, equity, diversity, and inclusion to increase access to higher education. As a low-income first-generation college student, Mercedes understands the challenges and opportunities that may evolve when navigating college. Her passion for working with diverse students and students of color while promoting equity in education stems from seeing firsthand the positive impact that an education has on an individual's academic and professional trajectory. As a TRiO alumna, she can attest to the incredible resources, opportunities, and advice that Student Support Services program staff instilled in her to obtain her aspirations. So Mercedes, tell me about your educational journey and who inspired you.
Hi, Martha. Thank you for having me here. I truly appreciate it. So I grew up in the northwest side of Chicago, in Illinois. And so I went to Carpenter Elementary School. I went to Northwest Middle School, and I also attended a Prosser Career Academy. I was the student that would meet consistently with my counselor during high school, especially my senior year. I would go and meet about college applications, scholarships. I remember giving him my list of schools and telling him how my first choice was DePaul University. I also remember he told me that I should consider other colleges and universities, that I probably shouldn't apply to DePaul because I didn't have the average ACT score of a 25. I was shocked. He didn't even want me to apply, and that he just was really trying to discourage me from doing that. He was just so set in his response. So I was aware that, and it was true, I was aware that I didn't have the ACT score. I had received a 19 ACT score and then I tried it again and had gotten a 20. So, but that I still wasn't at the 25, right, mark. However, my academic grades were, I was in the honor roll, A's and B's. My GPA was excellent. I had a 4.3 GPA because I was taking honors classes, advanced placement courses, and had over 350 community service learning hours. My other academic components were compensating for my low ACT score. He was also aware that standardized tests gave me high anxiety so I didn't do well on those exams. I walked out of his office discouraged and shocked at his response from someone that knew me well. I went home and didn't allow his comments to govern my actions. So even though he discouraged me, I still applied to DePaul University and I applied to about 7 other universities. But needless to say, I not only received acceptance to DePaul University, but I got accepted into all the other universities as well. So I attended DePaul University, won many scholarships and grants, and then I didn't have to pay anything. I received a full ride for 4 years and graduated with my bachelor's degree in psychology, focused in human services, and a minor in community service in June of 2014. Then earned a master's of science in education from the University of Pennsylvania in May of 2016.
Wow, congratulations for staying true to your educational path. Currently, you are a specialist for TRiO Student Support Services at Joliet Junior College. What does TRiO mean to you, and how does TRiO support first-generation students?
Yes, it's a great question. As you mentioned before, right, TRiO programs are federally funded grant programs, right, by the U.S. Department of Education, and they're education opportunity programs. So they help motivate and support students from disadvantaged backgrounds to pursue their college degrees. And for me, it has been so surreal, right? Not only being a part of TRiO as an undergrad, right? Being an alumni. So I was again a part of TRiO Student Support Services program and the TRiO Beginner Scholars program. And it was so vital for me to continue to assist other students in that same pathway, right? To think about what they want to do with their life, what their goals are, right? So TRiO is vital in promoting educational success, retention, persistence, and providing pathways to immense opportunities, especially for low-income students, students that are first in their families to go to college, and students with disabilities from diverse backgrounds. And so TRiO, another thing about TRiO programs, and that they're offered nationally. So TRiO programs are in various elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, colleges, and universities across the nation, and also nonprofits in the U.S. So it is an honor for me for not only be a TRiO alumni, like I said, but now work as a student support services specialist for a TRiO program, because it is an honor for me to be able to have students and support them in these academic spaces, working to increase access, equity, diversity, inclusion, and justice for diverse students. Because I see myself in the diverse students I advise. It's because that was me. At some point, right, I was the first in my family to go to college. I was low income. I really didn't know what I was doing, right? I was just going to college and I was like, let me see what I want to do. And it was great to have mentors and advisors supporting me in that. And the TRiO program really was so beneficial for me.
How can students connect with TRiO and be part of this TRiO familia across, their community, at the community college, across the country?
Yes. So one of the first things that students need to do is definitely find TRiO programs in their institutions, right? And sometimes they will find them right away. Sometimes it takes a little digging here and there, but definitely try to get connected as soon as possible, right? Because one of the things that we do in TRiO, we work again with so many diverse students, right? We work from students that are either like middle school age students, students that are in high school, students that are in college and universities, veterans, and that's very important, right? So there's so much happening and so many resources and opportunities offered to students. At Joliet Junior College, we work with about 200 students and providing them like academic advising, holistic advising, educational planning, financial literacy, cultural outings, transfer support, multicultural events, and even do campus visits because Joliet Junior College is a 2-year school. We take them to 4-year universities, right? And so for us, again, it's still important to try to connect with the students as soon as possible. So one of the things students can look at their website, right? If they're in high school, they could connect with their advisor, their counselors, and ask them about the TRiO program. And if they don't have any programs like that, look into student success programs or in their college and university do the same thing. Not every school is going to have a TRiO program, but they might have a program similar to TRiO, right? But the goal is to connect as soon as possible until completed TRiO application. Go from there. Make sure they reach out to TRiO staff to get connected.
Does TRiO offer scholarships?
So TRiO doesn't offer scholarships. We do have a supplemental grant aid that we give to students, and that's based on different components and factors. But what we do, we also help students apply for scholarships, right? So we can talk to them about the scholarships that the university or the college is offering, but also help find scholarships, external scholarships, right? Local scholarships. But we don't necessarily give scholarships from the TRiO program.
Yeah, and that's something that I found very important for students to understand that. And I remember when I worked in the multicultural department, we were working in collaboration with presenting some of the workshops or doing some of those college tours. So these are wonderful programs, workshop opportunities to really complement a college student's experience, because that sometimes is the difference in helping you graduate, get a scholarship, and move on, especially if you're at the 2-year community college. So I find all these programs to be very beneficial. Can you share a student success story about a student you mentored from start to graduation?
Yes. So in our TRiO program, right, we have the pleasure to meet so many amazing students, right? And we have so many student success stories because we work and support phenomenal students all the time, right? From all different walks of life, which is incredible. And I know that you can relate as well. So I wanted to talk about 2 students briefly, right? One student was a part of our Project Achieve TRiO Student Support Services program. She's a first generation college student. She's a low income student. She was already excelling academically before she even joined our program, because starting from high school. So when she was in high school, she was excelling. Then she transitioned to college and she was doing amazing as well. She's that type of student. But what we did when she connected with us, we were able to offer her some support, right? Some mentorship, some motivation, building her professional and academic skills. She was a part of cultural programming, attending ongoing holistic and advising appointments, and utilizing our myriad of resources, services, and opportunities. So that was very beneficial because we were able to guide her right. And she definitely worked a lot closely with me. So she would stop in, say hello, tell me how things were going, or send me an email. We would make appointments, just making sure that she was receiving everything she needed from Joliet Junior College, right? To make sure that she got the opportunities and was able to graduate, right, and transfer where she wanted to, right? So she graduated with a 4.0 GPA. She was very active, continued to mentor her peers. She transferred to the Mayo Clinic College of Medicine and Science, and she aims to become a medical doctor. So she is such a wonderful and intelligent person with an incredible personality. And I can't wait to continue to see her ongoing accomplishments in all her endeavors, right? And that's one story, but we have so many. I have another student story that an adult first generation college student that was working full time. He transferred to Joliet Junior College and connected with our Project T TRiO office. He's an incredible, smart, compassionate individual. And with him, we would also meet and have ongoing academic advising appointments. We worked on scholarships. I provided numerous amount of recommendation letters, and I was able to mentor him throughout his time at JJC. He also was excelling academically. He transferred and graduated with a 4.0 GPA while also working, mentoring other peers, tutoring, winning a myriad of scholarships, and conducting research. and engaging in academic and cultural programming, being an active member of clubs and organizations on campus. So he also transferred and graduated, and he transferred to UIC, the University of Illinois at Chicago, and continues to excel academically and aims to become a nutrition dietitian. So I also can't wait to hear, right? And I also can't wait to hear all the ongoing accomplishments and success that he will have.
Yeah, and it's so amazing. I remember when I was at JJC, I loved your end of the year banquet where you had the opportunity to really recognize those students who have been resilient during their time in college, who have overcome the odds of trying to stay on top of their studies, but also, work and deal with, family and life issues, but they have risen above and shined above the rest and have really made it through college. So if you're a high school student out there listening, somebody who needs extra support in college, remember, you're not alone. TRiO programs are wonderful programs to provide you with opportunities to really get involved, engaged, to stay in college, to graduate. And these student success coaches, these advisors stay with you. You're not alone. What advice do you have for first generation students listening to your story?
Yes, that's a great question. I also wanted to mention right before I answer this question is that not only do we have the TRiO Student Support Services program at Joliet Junior College, we also have an educational talent search program, meaning that we have a program that works directly with the high schools. And we work with Joliet Central and in the Joliet area, right? And we also have phenomenal advisors that help students, again, right? Academic advising, help them plan the school that they want to attend for college, where they want to go, what they want to do after they graduate high school, provide different opportunities and support as well, right? So we work hand in hand together. So that's very important for me just to mention because I haven't mentioned that before. But again, there's so many different types of TRiO programs. The students would have to just find them.
Yes, definitely. And it's very important to work in collaboration with high school partners and the local college or the university where these programs exist. Something I wanted to ask you too, in terms of criteria, what's the criteria to get involved with TRiO? Or is there an application process?
Even for the educational talent search program that I mentioned, which is the high school program, the high school TRiO program, and also the student support services program that we also have at Joliet Junior College, to be eligible to participate in TRiO, and it's also mandated by Congress, is that students are U.S. citizens or permanent residents, right? And then students, to be eligible for the program, students have to have at least one of the criteria, meaning that they have to be first generation college students. And that is defined as neither parent graduated with a bachelor's degree. Students that are low income, and that's according to the U.S. income levels, right? And that's something that we will look at. But if students tend to receive financial aid, right? If they tend to receive a Pell Grant or MAP Grant, more than likely they will qualify for services. And students that have a documented disability, right? And that could be an IEP, or they can be connected with the Disability Services Office if they're college and university, right? So they only have to have one of the three criteria. They do not have to have all three, just one. But we don't want students to discount themselves out. If you're not that sure if you qualify or not, you should still apply, right? The students still should apply and let us determine that, because that doesn't mean that we will not work with them, right? It's just that we can also offer other services and work in collaboration with other departments as well to make sure that students get what they need, right? From the institution, the help that they need, right? So we can always connect them to other services, but they do have to apply and complete an application. Right now, we have an application where students can apply in person, a document application, but we also have online applications that they can easily complete and submit. And we get an email after they do their application. And then we have the opportunity to go look and evaluate the application. And they will receive information if they do get accepted or if they don't. And then we can move accordingly, right? And we usually have like an intake appointment where we talk to them all the services and opportunities and benefits that they have to be a part of the program by being a TRiO participant. And then we can go from there. sometimes the students tell us, well, great, because I need help with scholarships or I need to figure out what classes I need next, which is wonderful. So we will make sure that they get connected and get the services that they need. The one great thing also is for based on our requirements, we do have to have 2/3 of our students must be low income and first generation college students. So that's something that we need to look at our numbers all the time. And also 1/3 of our students served must be students with documented disabilities. And again, that's something that we look at directly, especially in our TRiO SSS program. But again, we look into that, right? But again, we want students to apply and apply early. At the moment, we have more than 3,100 TRiO programs that are currently serving over 800,000 students and veterans nationally.
How has this pandemic changed the TRiO programs, the way services and outreach is conducted with students?
It definitely has changed things, right? Because what we usually do, we enjoy seeing our students come into our offices to make appointments, to say hello. Sometimes they go in there and they just make us laugh, tell us all their stories, or just share some word of advice, or they'll sing with us, you name it, right? And then we also have a space for them to study, to talk, to hang out, which is very important. We have computers in our TRiO program at Joliet Junior College. So that's been amazing. And sometimes they just stop in to say hello, which is amazing because we have so much work to do, but our first priority is always our students, right? So we're like, oh, this is great. I get to take a break from everything else that I'm doing and I'll talk to you, which is awesome. Or sometimes, right? So that's always been amazing. So we usually offer, like I said, cultural programming, just academic and non-academic programming, just sessions, workshops, and presentations that we would give in person, and we would offer them usually on a weekly basis. And we would tend to also have some type of lunch for them or snacks because our students are also commuting and they're very, very busy. So that has obviously shifted. We definitely miss all our students, right? So that has been a challenge, but we are able to, with all this technology, right, still continue to connect with them, offer advising appointments, still offer different cultural programming, right, in terms of different, just different opportunities for them to connect with us virtually. So we'll use Zoom or Microsoft Teams, and we still offer a calendar every semester of all the sessions that we will be having. We collaborate with different departments at Joliet. Sometimes the student wellness advocate, sometimes the office of OMSA, right? We also just connect with different departments to offer student sessions virtually that they can benefit from study skills to financial literacy to time management opportunities. We also connect with like the Tutoring Learning Center. So we are still able to offer and have appointment with our students, especially virtually, especially during this time of uncertainty and the pandemic. But I would like to say that we obviously still miss them, seeing them in person, and we cannot wait.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing that. So wonderful for the Joliet community and for the students. And I commend you, Mercedes, because this year you were coordinating TRiO virtual conferences, which I had the opportunity and honor to present to not only students, but professional staff. I didn't realize TRiO offered professional opportunities for staff. So it's not just for the students in the community, but it's also for professionals who want to learn and improve their skills and knowledge and how to really empower first generation low income students in our community.
Oh, yes. There's so much happening. We have Illinois TRiO Association, right? And we also have chapters in different states of TRiO associations for professionals. We connect with our Education Opportunity Association for our region. Then we have a bigger association, the Council of Opportunity for Education, right? So again, there's so much professional development that also happens that we get to connect with diverse professionals. So it was an honor to host this professional conference virtually and connect with so many professionals that we are so used to connecting in person. But because of everything that is happening, I'm still glad that we were able to connect virtually.
Okay. Any final thoughts you have, Mercedes, for our students in our audience?
Yes. So I didn't finish to finish answering your question as you asked earlier, and it was about what advice I have for first-gen students. I mentioned a different part before I got to this question, but I wanted to say, right, that being a first-generation college student for me came with many challenges, such as navigating the college environment to determine my educational pathway. And the lack of higher education knowledge hindered my ability to be like many of my peers that had parents or family members that had college degrees and lived in households where college was a constant topic of conversation. So when I first began my college journey, many times I felt frustrated because it was almost impossible to explain to my family the college environment and the ongoing expectations of a college student. In addition, trying to balance working part-time and taking full-time courses while commuting daily to campus on public transportation was difficult for me. However, one thing that I want to mention to other first-generation college students is that I was able to connect with the TRiO program, with student support services programs, with faculty advisors, with other advisors, and the TRiO SSS program staff that became important advisors, mentors in my life that helped me successfully navigate college while providing essential resources to achieve academic success. And I want to encourage other students, other first generation college students to do the same, right? To get connected, to participate in, join affinity groups, clubs, organizations that support their goals and their interests and their identities, right? So it's because it's so important to feel supported and valued and connected in your institution. And I'm talking about even from middle school age students to high school students to college and university age students as well. And also some of their students that are a part of some of the nonprofit organizations that are also have TRiO programs. And just in general, right, to make sure that you connect and you feel supported. You connect with like-minded individuals. You build your own community. Because for me, in my perspective, it takes a village for you to succeed. No one got to where they are right now on their own, right? So you have to connect. And at times I do feel, and I remember feeling that I just don't want to bother people or I'll just figure it out on my own. Well, no, the reason you're in college, the reason you are in these academic spaces is to learn and grow and do some self-discovery, but get connected, get the resources you need to achieve success. Don't hinder yourself by not asking for help or not getting the assistance that you need. So I want to remind first generation college students that you are worthy, that you are enough, that you are incredible, and that you are not alone in this journey, right? Even though it feels like that sometimes. So you should definitely take the time to take some initiative, ask for assistance and get connected with student support services programs or student success programs like TRiO that guide you throughout your educational journey, promote professional development, and assist you in obtaining your career aspirations. I want to remind students to take advantage of the plurality of resources and services and opportunities that are available to you as a college student. So get connected with counseling, right? Mental health counselors, if you feel that you need to talk to someone, right? If get connected with career services, if you're not that sure what you want to major in and what you want to do after you graduate. It's fine. There's so many of us that didn't know either, and we needed those services. Get connected with paid internships, study abroad opportunities, and that's very important to do that. So again, I just want to encourage first generation college students to understand that you do belong in all these spaces that you're a part of. You just have to make sure that you get what you need to get to the next level, the next step, or to reach your goals. And whatever that means for you, you need to pursue that. And at times it will be that you need some help, and that is totally fine because as advisors, right, that's what we're here for. That is my job. My job is to help you and students, first generation college students, low income students, and just, students with disabilities and just diverse students to reach their academic aspirations, to reach their professional and career goals, to make sure that they understand what their passions are and go and do that. So again, I just want to encourage first generation college students to take the initiative, right? Because you do belong, you do deserve to be here. And we're just so excited to be a part of that academic and professional journey.
And we know TRiO works. So thank you. Muchas gracias, Mercedes, for enlightening us with information and inspiration about the important impact TRiO has had in our community for over 50 years.
Thank you. I wanted to just say, just lastly, that as a first generation college student, you may be the first, but you should ensure that you're not the last. So thank you for having me here. Thank you for allowing me to share some of my educational and professional endeavors and my story. I appreciate it, Martha.
You're welcome. Muchas gracias por escuchar. Thank you for listening. This episode was produced by the Martha Empowers podcast team. The theme song, El Barrio, is composed and produced by Edwin Miranda. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share with others so together juntos we can change, transform, and empower our comunidad. Follow us on social media, #MarthaEmpowers. If there is a topic or question you'd like for me to discuss on a future episode, please send me a message or tag me on Facebook or Instagram. To contact us, you can send an email to marthaempowers@gmail.com. In the meantime, siga adelante y échale muchas ganas. Nos vemos pronto. Adiós. Chao.